Mon cher. And that, Catwoman, is Georgia Hot Flash's hussy shaman dance in spandex and pinch my penny ostrich plumes. Shall we move on? Didn't she put forth another idea for a segment? Oh, yeah. Yeah, she thinks I should host an advice column on the show, so that people can have their problems solved by me, like I don't solve enough problems already, especially the problems of one Georgia Hot Flash, who no doubt plans to be a recurring guest on the show. Oh, who's next? Bruce. Well, it was your idea to have input on segments for the show from all the performers and hangers-on in order to mitigate my tyranny. Now let's watch and see together what other brilliant points of view are out there.
Time with friends is special, even with those with whom you share a complicated business relationship. So serve up the diplomacy with a hot, steaming cup of Ahoy Mateys coffee and tea assortment.
Yes, Bruce, we know you want a show where you do nothing but scat. What else? Lord, Bruce, that was 8 albums ago. Move on. Well, did little Henri have any suggestions? Well, I pressed him for some, but he said anything we decided would be very nice. Now, see, he's the only one around here who gives me the complete agreement that I cherish. Well, who's next? Storm Cloud. Oh, can we just skip the freak show? I believe every vision must be entertained. Oh. Now, he appears to have a movie pilot pitch. Oh, of course he does.
Lobster. It's 100 feet long. It eats giant eels, but the eels are gone and it's hungry. It's coming out of the deep and it's angry. It's crushing boats and chomping on swimmers. Its shell is 8 inches thick. It's too smart for poison and too fast for torpedoes. And it's coming onto land.
Oh.
People estimate there could be as many as 1,000 of them. The Caribbean is a wasteland. Florida has been evacuated. Europe is under siege.
What?
Millions may be on their way from outer space.
Oh, my God.
Billions and billions of running feet.
Where's that
birds
clicker?
and sharks and rabbits and blobs with feet.
Oh, my
Will
God.
this nightmare never end?
I sure hope so. The Great Northern Beans.
It's the Dragonsail Puppets variety show, starring Surrender, Bruce, Catatonia, and Henri, featuring the Dragonsail Puppets band. Anchors away.
Simple seeking of yourself, I will apply you, calcify you, keep the habit of the lie. History remains but long since dried. You came ashore, you closed the door, wiped off the mist, but something persists. Inside's working out chrysalis, you tag 'em alive, dragging the high. Can't choose suicide, or what side would hide? You're gliding, oozing out of the thin tide covering, heavy haze hovering, with your insides working out. Insides working out, chrysalis, a demon kiss, working out funky bliss. The insides working out, chrysalis, your tag of life, dragging behind. Your love, another stone rushing at the earth. You blistering primal mirth, your primitive tips beat the velvet strips. And I wanna paint gently down to my face. And I wanna paint gently down to me. Shave the bone, awaiting a time is not my own. Progenitor begin again. It's the nature of the earth to spin it out the view. The high boiling sun, peripheries I cannot see. I film over the world in the skin of the wind stretching softly. It's the nature of a man to begin again when it falls to the fan and he has to make a plan. Stop and sit there, shade the bone. Stop and sit there, shade the bone. Keep working out, keep a chrysalis. Your tag up on Mr. Demon Kiss. Move out the door, work out that funky bliss. Move out the pupa, drop the stupid knife. Another stone rushing down. Maybe you only crack the egg high. Now my eyes hold on to earth and the sky and you. Cosmic journey, choice to do. Smack the door, release the water, pouring into anoint the place. Maybe leave a stone displaced. Maybe make a room for a little green shoot of life to bloom. Make a plan. The earth could bind us all here in arms instead. Through this weary land, everybody to a man would stand and tend. Command the world, 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 command the world. He would begin.
Well, hello, my undulating vixens. Yes, it's your girl, Surrender, serving up the Day of the Dead fashion wear, or whatever this is. I must have told Chi-Chi, make me a hair design that makes it look like I walked under a vat spilling tar and barn paint. Oh, yeah, well, I have been asked to invite all of you to send us your ideas for the show, because apparently it's a good idea every so often to receive input from outside. One of the minions behind the scenes already said that we should do a very special episode wherein Billy, the bass player, has to get a kidney transplant. Now, it makes sense. At least one of those libertine hussies is long past due for an organ malfunction. Now, in the scenario, Henri, of course, would say he could have one of his kidneys, to which Catatonia would respond, looking so wisely at him, and say, "We must consider all the factors, dear." To which I'm sure I would then scream in exasperation, "Is the fact that he's a dog a factor?" Oh, so that's been shelved for now. So yeah, y'all go on and send us your inspirations. Just remember that any suggestions that Surrender find the love of her life and have to choose between her heart and her career will be burned immediately. See, I was born without a romantic impulse, as well as a well-founded aversion to produce an offspring. And I do not use career ambition as a means of disassociation so I don't have to face the sad specter of lonely despair. I am what you see. There is no Santa Claus, and your God is a projection of your own insanity. So y'all keep it light. We'd love to hear from you. Now, not that I'm not blessed already with a lifetime of tragicomic material from Georgia Hot Flash. Now, among one of her many suggestions to me is that the Dragonsail Puppets should do a game show. I told her I'd hand her a hammer and she could start building the sets for it. She must have got the idea that I like games from the fact that I play one with her every time I see her coming down the road. I call it duck and cover. I can understand why she thinks I should host an advice show, though, since so many people are trying to be like me anyway. But I think she should just find her own support group apart from me. After all, no hussy can truly know the depths of their own desperation until they find another like-minded fool to share it with, am I right? I mean, she already spends most of her time posting online affirmations and bearing her soul to social vigilantes anyway. She don't need me. Oh, but y'all should hear her when she finally gets happy. Lord, it's an endless monologue what sounds like chirping chipmunks on cocaine. You know, before I met Georgia, I never knew joy could be so loud. Anyway, I'll see y'all on the other side. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to get you with my claw dealies.
I have claws too.
Look out, I'm scary and not very pretty.
I can catch all the frisbees with my big red hand.
I'm gonna eat all the sand.
That doesn't make sense.
Who can explain this behavior? One must understand the donning of a mask protects early onset iconoclastic tendencies. In the development of a young mammal, there will be times when it will accept rules of behavior without question, and other times when it will question everything, depending on whether the function of a given stage is to gather information or to promote individuality. I stole all the beach balls!
Did you give them back?
No, because I'm a monster from outer space! I must take all the balls back to my kingdom on Mars!
Oh, can't you leave them just one to play with?
Oh, you don't understand monsters! You need to go to school! Deceit is natural to the young because they are vulnerable and they need it as a survival choice. Children are also more creative for the same reason, and they who maturate rapidly will often be artistic and unpredictable. The late maturing adults will be more dependable but often less malleable, having lost much of their capacity to question the status quo, as the species depends on the largesse of their nurturing. They are the drudges, the food bags, and they should not think on this while chores await.
Catwoman, I turn my back for 1 minute and I find you educating instead of entertaining.
Well, you vetoed my suggestion of a theater adaptation of the annual review of clinical psychology, and thusly I cleared this segment through Mr. Dragonsail.
I ain't having it. I let you do your dance improv a couple of episodes ago.
I'm a lobster monster who plays guitar.
I'm a lobster monster who plays the shaker.
Ooh, me too. Water spider builds a bubble of air in the water weeds. Underwater keeps and sleeps the frozen seasons of the years away. Below the earth and the miracle of birds stirs in the spring, following out the wave. The bubbles meet, coagulate and clean for days. Down you go, you know you cannot appeal, so don't even try. Let the cable swing you wide. You got the coolness on your cheek and the movement time. Scratching out surprise with grace on either side. A water spider can never be right or wrong. See the feet pull the ball into the bubble. Local trouble and now down you go. You know. You're falling in the flow. You know. You're set to go to the tiny house below. They eat and sleep till the spring. Then the bubbles meet and spider built a bubble of air, a tiny house of moonlight. Light in the center and dark on all sides. Tiny bell ringing in the nighttime. And if the light is all you care to know, you must consider something really came down below. There you go, from above, something drifted down. 3, 2, 1, when it's all down you go. You know you cannot appeal, so you won't even try. Cables long and sweep you wide. Egg from the gutter, spinning sputter with a prayer. I only know my own wilderness. Cables long, swings you wide, to the deep to stay, or to the surface to spin a trail into the wind to carry you away. 3, 2, 1. Drifting down, up you go. What's swinging? You. I'm surprised. You go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Well, my lovelies, we are so grateful for all those extra trash bags full of good tidings that y'all sent Surrender's way. I will be personally handing all of your correspondence over to my Guatemalan drag queen to sort through and review. And if she likes something she sees, maybe she'll bring it to my attention. And maybe you'll see it on a future show, and you'll know the joy of being a part of something bigger than yourself, an experience no money can buy, and certainly one no money will be paid out for. So now it is my deepest wish for you all to go forth and live in life. Or suck it up, pussy!
Surrender's gowns, courtesy of the Pinch My Penny markdown rack. Wardrobe consultation by Chi-Chi's Productions. Personal assistant to Surrender, also that drag queen from Guatemala. Special promotional consideration by Georgia Hot Flash. Surrender's fragrance, honeysuckle passion, makes you irresistible, but still powerless in the face of 100 feet long lobsters from outer space with thick shells and evil plans.
Stop that crap!
Oh,